Now, from WYDC TV, this is Big Fox News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Anna Manuel. An unprecedented leak rocking the legal world, as a report out Monday night shows the 6-3 conservative-leaning Supreme Court could be ready to overturn Roe v. Wade. The report sparking fierce backlash from abortion rights activists and pro-life supporters who say the leak was politically motivated. Lauren Blanchard explains from Washington.
A historic leak, a draft opinion from the Supreme Court shows the justices are leaning toward overturning nearly 50 years of abortion protections. The protesters showed up immediately. The draft opinion leaked to Politico says the 1973 decision in Roe v. Wade was egregiously wrong from the start and must be overruled. Written by conservative Justice Samuel Alito in February, the majority opinion argues there's no constitutional right to abortion. Quote, "It is time to heed the Constitution and return the issue of abortion to the people's elected representatives." President Biden reacting to the report.
If this decision holds, it's really quite a radical decision.
If the draft becomes finalized, there would no longer be a federal guarantee to abortion. Instead, it would be a state-by-state decision. Marked Draft 1, it is part of the Supreme Court's decision-making process on a Mississippi law that sought to ban abortions after 15 weeks.
The Republican-appointed justices' reported votes to overturn Roe v. Wade will go down as an abomination. One of the worst, most damaging decisions in modern history.
A draft opinion has never been leaked before. Many conservatives see it as a partisan move.
This is just so outrageous that this draft opinion was leaked. It's clearly an attempt to influence the outcome.
This is only a draft and could change, meaning it's not official until the Supreme Court publishes their final version, which is expected sometime in June or July. Outside the Supreme Court, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
The court released a statement today saying that while the document is authentic, it does not represent a decision by the court or the final position of any of its members on the issues in the case. Chief John Roberts went on to issue his own statement saying, quote, "To the extent this betrayal of the confidence of the court was intended to undermine the integrity of our operations, it will not succeed." Now to the latest from Ukraine. Russia once again ramping up its attacks on Mariupol. The assault coming just days after humanitarian corridors were opened. Trey Yingst has more from Ukraine.
Thick smoke rising from the Azovstal steel plant in Mariupol. Russian-backed forces continue their assault on the mill, appearing to fire rockets in its direction. The air attacks are picking up after a partial evacuation of more than 100 people sheltering beneath the plant.
Russians continue to pound Mariupol from the air. So Mariupol, the fighting in Mariupol is not done, certainly not from what we can see, because they continue to bombard it.
Ukrainian forces say dozens of elderly women and children are on their way to safety after the evacuations, with help from the UN and the Red Cross. Ukrainian officials report negotiations are underway with Russia and international organizations to establish more safe corridors. Past attempts to free people have broken down, leaving some 100,000 people still sheltering in the city. Many are running out of food, water, and medicine.
You wake up in the morning and you cry. You cry in the evening. I don't know where to go at all. I am not alone. Imagine everything is destroyed.
Meanwhile, Russian officials saying today forces struck a military airfield near the city of Odessa. Russia claims the attack destroyed missiles and ammunition supplied by the U.S. and European allies. The assault coming after new video claiming to show Ukraine destroying Russian patrol boats near Snake Island in the Black Sea. Today, President Biden will discuss security assistance the U.S. is providing to Ukraine. In Kyiv, Trey Yingst, Fox News.
Elmira College is granting Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky with an honorary degree. The college says the degree, which is symbolic, recognizes the heroic leadership Zelensky has shown so far during the war with Russia, while also honoring the Ukrainian people and their struggle to maintain their independence. Elmira College joins a growing list of colleges and universities across the nation honoring the president. In addition to recognizing Zelensky, Elmira College students, faculty, and staff have shown support for the Ukrainian people through rallies and donations. The U.S. government now considers WNBA star Brittney Griner to be wrongfully detained by the Russian government, signaling a significant shift in how officials will try to get her home. The officials and other sources close to Griner's case declined to say what led to the shift or whether there have been any discussions about what it would take to secure her release. Griner, who plays during the WNBA offseason for a Russian team, was arrested in February at a Moscow area airport while entering the country. Russian prosecutors said she illegally brought vape cartridges containing hashish oil. Police have issued an arrest warrant for an Alabama corrections officer believed to have helped a jailed murder suspect escape. Steve Harrigan has more on the investigation.
This is not the Vikki White we know, by any stretch of the imagination.
It's a scenario nobody saw coming. Police issuing an arrest warrant for Vikki White, a longtime standout employee with the Alabama Department of Corrections. They believe she helped this man, Casey White, escape from a jail where she served as assistant director. The two are not related. It started on Friday morning when Vikki White claimed she was taking the inmate to a nearby courthouse for a mental health evaluation, but neither have been seen since then. Now there's a nationwide manhunt underway, with officials prioritizing the capture of Casey White, saying he is a confessed murderer and a significant danger to the community.
Casey White is an extremely dangerous person, and we need to get him located and get him off the street.
We consider both of them dangerous, and in all probability both individuals are armed.
Adding to the mystery, Friday was supposed to be Vikki White's last day on the job. She was retiring and sold her home about 1 month ago, telling friends she was planning on going to the beach. She was reportedly an outstanding employee, winning Officer of the Year 4 times, and her family says they believe she is not with Casey White willingly.
When you wake up, if you do fall asleep, that's the first thing that you think of. You know, if you got a kid and she's out there, it's just like, you know, she's in danger.
The U.S. Marshals Service is offering a $10,000 reward for information leading to their capture. In Atlanta, Steve Harrigan, Fox News.
Meteorologist Alyssa Triplett is in next with our complete forecast. Plus, a new drug is helping doctors in the battle against ovarian cancer. Stay with us.
Here's your local stock market update from Big Fox. Now, your Twin Tiers forecast from Big Fox.
Well, May has been off to a gloomy and rainy one overall, looking at the precipitation departure since March 1st. So for the spring season, we're seeing that we do have that abundant moisture from Scranton through Binghamton due to the heavy snowfall that we saw, the good melting from that. We were able to use some of that moisture, but a little bit drier, especially as you head from Rochester, Buffalo, Syracuse, as we were continuing to see that. That was a region that missed out on some of that snow potential, but also missed out on some of these rain potentials. But we have seen that just the last couple days of May have brought in just a few tenths of an inch of some precipitation here in Elmira. We are going to see that more accumulation from tonight's system is going to be the day that has a little bit more numbers to it, especially when we're looking at not a severe threat, but a few thunderstorms to rumble through that could bring a few soaking rains to the area. But then we'll also continue to linger some shower activity as we head throughout the day on Wednesday. So again, soaking rains possible, even areas up to about a half an inch could work their way through this system. We are going to stay cooler and gloomy as we head into that Thursday forecast after we dissipate some of those showers on Wednesday. Maybe a few areas of sunshine possible, but we are going to bring in some light rain showers back into that Friday forecast into Saturday morning, as there is going to be a system mainly moving to the south of us, but we'll be able to hit some of those outer bands, bringing some lighter rainfall to the area, but not looking at any high impacts from that system. More just really this rainy, wet weather pattern staying in place before the weekend might give us some more pleasant weather when we talk about that Mother's Day forecast. So as we wake up tomorrow morning, even still looking at some of those higher higher reflectivities throughout the state and off to the south of us possible. So a few rumbles of thunder for the kids at the bus stop are going to be noted. So maybe you want to bring them, make sure that they get there dry. But those showers will push through at least through the lunch hour and then become more isolated as we head towards the evening commute. Sky is expected to stay on the cloudier side, maybe even some low-level clouds and some fog. Some slight clearing looks to try to work its way in Thursday, so some good news there, but ultimately looking at a cooler forecast as we stay a bit more active with another low-pressure system on its way for that Friday forecast. So precipitation accumulation looking at least about 1/4 of an inch. Some locations with those heavier downpours possible to see upwards of about 1/2 an inch, all depending on where those will fall throughout the day. But underneath those showers, we are going to keep temperatures near or below average as we hit about 67 into Elmira, 65 into Corning, Wayland about 62 degrees towards those Finger Lakes, a little cooler with those shower potential. Then as we step into Thursday, under those mostly cloudy skies, again nearing that average, but still saying that we stay pretty comfortable, especially if we have that cloud cover in store for the area. Regional wide, that we see that the mid-60s in store for the area for that Thursday forecast, before we see again those shower chances are on Friday and Saturday, keeping temperatures into those lower 60s. And then we talk about a warm up ahead for the area. Mother's Day looking gorgeous. You can have those outdoor plans if you want. Mostly sunny conditions, a high of 67 degrees, and we don't stop the warming there. It looks like the 70s, and a quiet weather pattern is going to take over as we head into next week.
A new drug is helping surgeons find hidden ovarian cancer tumors. It's an IV injection that helps ovarian cancer cells glow under a special camera. Catherine Hawley has more details on how it works.
Dr. Rob Wenham is the chair of Moffitt's Gynecologic Oncology program. He says this new drug is a game changer for the way ovarian cancer is detected.
It's probably the biggest step forward in the surgical management of ovarian cancer since our field was created.
That's because the diagnostic agent is helping surgeons see cancerous cells and tumors that may otherwise go undiscovered.
This is our normal view of surgery, and you might look and say, I don't really see any tumor there. And that's
Cytolux is injected prior to surgery. The fluorescent dye targets a molecule found on most ovarian cancer cells, causing them to light up.
You can see the tumors glowing red hot for us, which lets us know that that's an area of more intense disease.
A special near-infrared camera is used, helping surgeons remove more of the tumor and leading to better disease survival rates.
So by going a step further, we are detecting disease in about 1/3 of women that we would have not known about unless we had this technology.
Moffitt took part in the Phase 2 and Phase 3 clinical studies for Cytolux and played a role in the drug's approval. According to the American Cancer Society, nearly 20,000 women will be diagnosed with ovarian cancer for the first time this year here in the States. And for most of them, surgery is the recommended course of action to remove all visible cancer lesions.
This surgery is going to be really taking it down to the finest level we can get it, to leaving the fewest cancer cells behind.
Vista High School students got a life-saving lesson Monday as they watched a DUI crash simulation with their friends playing the victims. The drunk driving simulation shows a lifeless body of a teenager after being ejected during a head-on collision involving a drunk driver and then landing on the hood of the car. The group of students who participated in the program say while this was a simulation, it was emotional and felt very real.
It was emotional just seeing my classmates, even though it was pretend in this scenario, seeing my classmates get cut out of the car and seeing one of them dead, it looked very real.
The simulation is part of the California Highway Patrol's Every 15 Minutes program. The program named for how often someone is seriously injured or killed in a DUI crash. As the debate of forgiving student loans rages on, the Biden administration is considering capping relief at a certain wage. White House officials are reportedly floating the idea of limiting student loan relief to those earning under either $125,000 or $150,000. 2/3 of student loan borrowers earn less than $100,000 a year, and an estimate says it would cost the government more than $935 billion to erase the loans for those people. How much relief would be given is still being debated. Elon Musk is looking for investors after the billionaire confirmed he will buy Twitter. Musk is talking to investment firms and people with high net worth for outside funding to help him in his $44 billion takeover of the social platform. Outside investment would soften the blow to Musk's finances, which put him as the richest person in the world. Speaking to reporters at the Met Gala Monday night, Musk outlined his vision for the platform.
I'm looking for something that's, like I said, as broadly inclusive as possible, that's as trusted as possible as a system, and I hope we are successful in that regard.
Musk has committed $21 billion in cash toward the takeover, plus more from a loan. Energy giant BP takes a hit from its Russia exit. Clorox cuts its profits outlook on concerns about inflation, and Alphabet's Google wants to teach America's workers about technology. CJ Papa has that and more in today's Business Briefs.
BP reporting a blowout first quarter profit, the net profit number jumping to its highest level in more than a decade at $6.2 billion. That offsetting some of the discomfort caused by a $25.5 billion charge linked to its planned exit from Russia. The oil giant is also boosting its share buyback program by $2.5 billion. A major household products company is lowering its expectations for the year because of inflation. Clorox reported a weaker than expected profit even though its sales increased. However, the company says it is working to counter the impact of inflation. Reuters says Google is offering any business $100,000 worth of online classes in data analytics, design, and other tech skills free of charge. It's an expansion of Google's career certificates, a program it launched in 2018. The courses are designed by Google and normally cost about $39 a month and take 3 to 6 months to finish. Finally, back to traveling this summer, you'll have a lot of company. Expedia's CEO says the online travel company is feeling very good about a summer recovery. Expedia was still losing money in the recent quarter, but not as much as Wall Street predicted, and gross bookings in the quarter were up 58%.
The world of Greyhound Racing is dramatically downsizing. Jackie Ibanez has a look at how some of the last remaining tracks are faring and why the sport is on the brink of extinction in the U.S.
Greyhound Racing in the United States has just about crossed the finish line. This track in eastern Iowa will close later this month, followed by one in Arkansas, expected to shutter by December. That will leave only 2 tracks remaining in the entire country by the end of the year, both located in West Virginia.
We will be short getting greyhounds, so that's why we had to make a short season this year. And then also our money that we received from the casinos has come to an end this year.
Greyhound Racing rose to peak popularity back in the 1980s, where more than 50 tracks operated across 19 states. But soon after, its profitability took steep hits, with the Associated Press reporting bets on Greyhound races went from $3.5 billion in 1991 to around $500 million in 2014. A result of heightening criticism over the welfare of the animals and a surge in additional sports betting opportunities in more states, especially with online betting now legal across more than half the country.
To me, it's very sad.
Animal rights advocates still accuse the sport of exposing animals to potential injuries and claim dogs are injected with performance-enhancing drugs or killed if they lose their competitive edge.
I think that when they hear those things and they think there's bad, I think Greyhound Racing has got a bad rap because of that.
Officials at West Virginia's Kennel Owners Association say they don't plan on letting the sport go extinct and are making every effort to look after the health and safety of the dogs.
A new study finds some ads are triggering teens and kids into consuming some unhealthy foods. Some researchers from a university in England found constant advertising of beverages and food items increases children and teens' intake of them. The team studied the information from more than 19,000 people ages 19 and younger in several countries worldwide. They found those particular companies had a 25% increase in sales. The World Health Organization suggests that all the countries put policies into action limiting children's interaction with these ads. Target is hiring and is helping candidates to get the job with their new interview tips. The retail store sharing a new interview prep guide on their site for prospective employees. Some of their recommendations include short answering times, keeping their interview conversational, and staying on professional topics. They also added several example questions for applicants to practice their answers before the meeting. The company is looking to attract more people to join its team, hoping to reduce the retail industry worker shortage that has taken place over the last 2 years. We want to leave you with a smile. What is the first thing you see in this picture? The answer may say a lot about your personality. The video, created by The Bright Side and shared on YouTube, sparked a personality test. The narrator says those viewers who first saw a woman with dark hair have keen observational abilities and a focus on details. It means you're likely a withdrawn individual, those who mostly kept to themselves on social occasions. People who see a face with a wide chin are focused on the overall picture and less on details, and are outgoing in social settings and enjoy spending time with others. Big generalizations here, but interesting nonetheless. From our whole team, thank you for joining us. We hope you have a great rest of your day.